opens on Pandora with Jake Sully reviewing his life since becoming the Omaticaya clan head and joining the Na'vi. In addition to Kiri, who is the biological daughter of Grace Augustine's Na'vi avatar, he and Ney'tiri have also adopted Ney'tiri, Lok, and Tuk. The children also interact with Spider, a human boy who was abandoned by the human scientists when the previous set of people departed Pandora since babies couldn't be frozen in cryostasis. The kids consider Spider to be sort of a relative, although Ney'tiri believes the youngster would be happier with other people, partly because she herself despises the sky people. While everything appears to be perfect, Jake's happiness is shortly shattered as hundreds of RDA spacecraft start to descend into Pandora, destroying huge parts of the forest and murdering the fauna. Despite saving their own and the other Na'vi's lives, Jake and Ney'tiri are horrified by the destruction that has been left behind. Jake is holding Ney'tiri as they watch in horror. Colonel Miles Quaritch awakens in his own avatar body 1 year later. Quaritch makes the decision to take a group back into Pandora with the sole purpose of killing Jake after obtaining their new weapons. When Quaritch and his team arrive at their base, General Francis Ardmore gives them a report on their activities. Before explaining how they can take control of the situation, Ardmore lets them know the advantages the Omaticaya have over them. At exactly the same moment as the team reaches the forest, Spider and Jake's children are playing there. Inside the Amp suit where he was killed, he discovers his skeleton. When the villains locate the kids, they immediately recognize them as Jake's children due to their 5 fingers. After meeting Spider, Quaritch discovers that he is the boy's father. The moment Jake and Ney'tiri arrive on the scene and witness their archenemy alive and in a Na'vi body, they are both in disbelief. Before Quaritch's crew starts firing, Ney'tiri kills some of them. She and Jake are able to reunite with their children, but Quaritch and the remaining members of his crew retreat, taking Spider with them. Quaritch intervenes and decides to approach Spider in an effort to gain his trust instead of allowing Ardmore to subject the boy to torture in order to compel him to reveal information about the clan's whereabouts. Jake tells Ney'tiri that since the clan is being hunted, she must go. Jake reassures Ney'tiri that leaving her home is best for their children and the rest of the tribe, despite the fact that Ney'tiri does not want to. They take off in their Ikran and move for the eastern coast, where the Metkayina tribe of Na'vi live. The tribe assembles with Tanawari, their leader, and his pregnant wife Ronald. Jake requests for shelter for his family, but Ronald and the other tribesmen are quick to despise him and his children due to their half-human heritage and the possibility that they could bring threats from homelands with them. Tanawari orders his children Aonung and Syria to teach Jake's children how to adjust to their maritime environment despite respecting the Torek Makto for their success and allowing them to stay. Quaritch also succeeds in forging a stronger bond with his own Ikran than the Omaticaya. Syria demonstrates how they use sign language to interact with aquatic animals and form links with them in a manner similar to how the Omaticaya form links with their own creatures. However, as Lok tries to connect with a creature, he is immediately pushed through the water and thrown off balance. However, because Kiri is viewed as a half-breed, Aonung and Ratso are hostile toward her, which causes Lok to hit Aonung in the face. When Ney'tiri enters the argument with Aonung's friends, Jake punishes his sons for their misbehavior. Lok is compelled by Jake to apologize to Aonung. After he does, Aonung invites Lok to go hunting with him and his friends. They make it all the way till they fool Lok into pursuing a creature, right before an Akula attacks him and his prey and kills his mount before pursuing Lok. The Akula tries to go for the kill despite Lok's attempts to swim back up before he runs out of air, and only a Tulkun named Payakan can save him. Following Payakan, Lok discovers a harpoon lodged in his fin. By removing it, Lok earns Payakan's trust. The group subsequently witnesses Lok's return. Tanawari punishes Aonung for taking Lok beyond the reef when it was prohibited to do so, but Loak takes full responsibility to protect Aonung from punishment. Although Aonung grows to appreciate Lok, Jake warns him that his behavior has embarrassed the family. Syria leads the others to the cove of their ancestors and shows them how the land appears during the eclipse after Lok tries to speak with Payakan to discover more about his past. She also directs them to the Metkayina tree of souls underwater. Kiri is able to see and speak with grace when she connects to the tree. But shortly after, Kiri had a horrible seizure, and her siblings return her to the shore. Jake asks Norm and Max to try and help Kiri, but they are useless until Ronald tries her hand and succeeds in reviving Kiri. Unfortunately, Quaritch's comrade Lyle Wainfleet alerts him to a radar picked up off the gunship that Norm and Max entered on. The Metkayina have a link with their Tulkun, especially Ronald and her soul sister Roa. Soon Quaritch and his crew arrive. If they don't reveal Jake and his family's location, they brutally murder a Tulkun and threaten a Metkayina woman. Spider is shocked and implores his father to stop. The villains then start setting their homes and trees on fire. Loke seeks to find out from Payakan what he done to make him an outcast once more. Payakan opens his mouth, allowing Loke to connect with him and enter. Payakan assaulted the Whalers because they killed his mother and family, as seen by Loke when he views Payakan's memories. The Whalers shoot inflatable-filled harpoons at the Tulkun, including Roa and her infant, piercing their fins as they launch their attack. When Ronald and the other Metkayina arrive and take their material from her, Ronald cries out in pain at the death of her soul sister and her child. Along with a large number of angry Metkayina, Tanawari and Ronald blame Jake for bringing the villains to their land, as they predicted would happen. Jake instructs the Metkayina to alert the Tulkun before more of them are killed after pointing out that they would be marked for death with the Whalers' trackers. Despite Ney'tiri's warnings against it, Loke leaves to warn Payakan. Along with Cyria, Aonung, Kiri, and Tuk, he follows his brother. When they arrive, Payakan has already been tracked. As soon as Ney'tiri alerts Jake and Ney'tiri go out to save their children. The Whalers start their assault by pursuing the children and Tulkun. The children are taken hostage on the ship after being seized during the conflict. When Jake and the others come, Quaritch tells him to back off while threatening to shoot Loke to make his point clear. Jake is about to give up when Payakan notices that his soul brother is in danger. As a result, he leaps out of the sea and crashes down into the ship, bringing numerous Whalers with him. The Na'vi take advantage of this opportunity to attack. When Scoresby tries to harpoon Payakan, the guy succeeds in wrapping the wire around their boat, killing the crew and also cutting Scoresby's arm. Kiri utilizes her abilities to control the ocean environment to kill some Whalers after the kids escape. Ney'tiri saves his siblings and their friends during the battle, although he is wounded. When the family arrives at a rock, they make an effort to aid Ney'tiri, but he passes away from his injuries. Ney'tiri sobs in despair over the death of her child, and the rest of the family is devastated. When Quaritch speaks with Jake, he reveals that he is holding Kiri and Tuk as hostages. Along with Ney'tiri, Spider, and Loke, Jake enters the sinking ship for the final battle. Jake is about to confront his archenemy when Ney'tiri brutally slaughters Quaritch's men as payback for Ney'tiri. Jake releases Tuk, and then Quaritch appears with Kiri and a knife to her throat. Ney'tiri grabs Spider and threatens his life in return. Quaritch tries to downplay his concern for the youngster and his bond with him, but after Ney'tiri wounds Spider across the chest, he gives in and lets Kiri go. Jake makes the decision to have Quaritch fight to the death after Ney'tiri rescues the children. The family is submerged as the ship begins to completely fall down. Quaritch is fought by Jake until he is able to put him in a chokehold and allow him to sink. When Loke discovers his father, he is told to go without him because Jake doesn't believe he will survive. However, Loak helps his father breathe by using the technique Cyria taught him, and they escape with Payakan. In the meantime, Kiri calls out the underwater creatures to assist her in rescuing Tuk and Ney'tiri. Spider dives into the water to save Quaritch, but he leaves him because of his terrible acts and returns to Jake's family, where Jake officially adopts him as a son. As Jake is ready to leave, Tanawari informs him that he and his family are now Metkayina and are welcome to stay. The family organizes a funeral for Ney'tiri, after which his body is given to the Tree of Souls and they are informed that he has joined Iwa. When Jake and Ney'tiri connect to the tree, they see Ney'tiri as a result of memories. Recognizing this area as his family's new home, Jake makes a commitment to keep fighting for and protecting them.